For another Nollywood practitioner, Stephanie Linus, actress, director, and humanitarian, this sudden break induced by the pandemic has given her more time to reflect about life and how best to approach it moving forward.
For me, it was really a time for deep reflection in terms of what really matters in life and where we're going as a people. What is the role that you as an individual that you need to, play in your society? How do you want to live your life? How do you want to live this earth? And just, it was a time of deep reflection and also just watching the time and see how you're going to adjust for the time. It was quite challenging, but there's also a lot of good things that came out of it. So it had the good and the bad because, it gives you, I think sometimes people feel frustrated when you feel like a sense of your freedom was taken away from me. So on a normal day, they say, okay, stay at home. So it wasn't at home where I thought I was going to read all the books that I wanted to read, but sometimes you're like, okay, what's happening? Did someone in here, another person died or the numbers increased? So you're sort of like in constant, sort of like agitated. But at the same time, I try not to be fearful, but to be hopeful and also to be informed on what was going on.
Taking each day as it comes and living life as the new normal dictates has been challenging for the mother of one who has to find ways to navigate these new realities.
We as human beings, we always adjust to things. So I don't think, just praying that it goes away so that life can really return to normal, so that some of businesses and lifestyle that you have can also go back to normal. But it looks like a lot of things has changed, so, but I've coped pretty well, like I said, in terms of just watching and thinking and reflecting on what am I supposed to do and how can we continue or make sure that things like this really don't happen anymore, and if it happens so that people are more prepared for it. So I've coped a lot, adjusting my house, making sure my family and friends are okay, calling on families and working offline. And so we've been able to adjust pretty well.
At this time, she believes making a positive impact is paramount in this world now glaringly filled with uncertainties.
It's a time for people to realize that at the end of the day, love is such a powerful thing that we really need to radiate more in this world. And because at the end of the day, everyone is going to die, whether you're white, you're black, whether you're rich or poor, whatever it is, So at the end of the day, you just have to ask yourself some very deep questions as a human being. What is your role? What are you doing to better the world or the space that you find yourself? And so that, even if you depart, that at least you've done something with your life.
I want to go back there. I want to go back there. And thanks for coming to help in our small hospital.
She definitely wants to be amongst those who did something positive with their lives, especially at this time.
Practicing good hygiene is a collective responsibility we all must share.
It's called Hygiene First, my new habit. And like I said, it was also a time of deep reflection that I woke up and I had this burden in my heart that have cleanliness is next to godliness. I'm like, okay, what does that really mean? And I looked at the situation and I found out that, okay, Ebola came and we all went into this frenzy of trying to do these basic things, wash your hands, keep your premises clean, just like the basic hygiene things that it will actually help save your lives. But after that, everybody goes back to square one, goes back like nothing happened. And this happened. This is even more disheartening because I don't think in our generation we've seen something like this. So it just occurred to me that, there's just something really missing in our society, which is the conscious awakening of us being conscious about hygiene, our day-to-day hygiene. And that is a big reflection of us as a people. I've had a lot of personal experiences. I'm sure a lot of people have. When you see something not done right, and you're like, oh, you're supposed to do this, we're supposed to do that. And there's this other viral video that went around where this guy was selling fruit and was washing it in the gutter, the dirty water from the gutter. So it just struck me, I'm like, you know what? There's just something fundamentally wrong with us in our heads. Something is missing, ticking. There's a boat that needs to be fixed in this country. And people, and sometimes I want to get angry, but you don't have to get angry because sometimes they don't even know. So I'm saying people are not conscious about this as a country. That's why our space is like this. That's why we don't have a maintenance culture. So, we keep complaining, we don't have a maintenance. It starts with these simple, basic things about being conscious about your environment, your personal hygiene, your environment, the things you do, being conscious about, I'm going to use this, so let me keep it because I know somebody else will use it. So being conscious about one another. I know we all complain. So I just started reflecting that, government can really not do everything. You as a person, you have a responsibility to what is in your space, what is in your own power to do. And then if people know what is better, they will even know what to demand from the government. So it's to be able to elevate people's mind to that level, and so that we also hold each other accountable. So if we're holding each other accountable, automatically you'll be able to hold your government accountable. I mean, we live in Ikoyi, you live in all these places, there's no green space, there's no park. And I go to places and they build houses, there's no single tree, and we have flooding, in all those places. So they're just basic things that we sort of like overlook, and we don't really think that that's why we have the society that we have.
Clean her up before the whole house starts smelling.
Our whole household is infected with disease when make it out.
Her 2014 award-winning movie, Try, is themed around underage marriage amongst young women and the problem of VVF. It is one of her numerous advocacy movies, and now she says the pandemic has put a hold on the other movie projects she's working on.
Oh yes, we're working on projects, and everybody is like stalling and waiting for us to go back to our business. And it's so sad because I feel our business will be as an actor, it's going to be it's going to be really challenging for us because it's different because we are replicating real life, and in the real life you need to communicate with person. So how are you going to tell that story? So there's a lot that's going to really change in our industry, and I feel we are more affected, in terms of our business and the way we do that, and we'll just hope that we'll find a decent way around that.
In this day of social distancing, you're going to assemble all the cast and crew on
That's
set.
how they're going to be acting.
How are you going to do that?
Well, I think,
really?
yeah, it's challenging, but I think, just like every other thing, I'm sure tests will be done. You make sure that the people that you're bringing in a space or in a project, they are all safe, and everyone is safe, and no one is contracting or giving any. So those are the measures you need to take as a producer to make sure that if you're doing a production, that everyone within that production and maybe make sure that they all stay in that period and adhere to the rules, and just to make sure that everybody's safe and everybody's tested and they're fine.
Now, moving forward, are we going to be seeing movies that will continue to drive this message of hygiene?
We have a list of activities of things that we want to engage, but the basic one is possible educating the people, because I see there's some sort of willingness.
Now more than ever, she believes it's the time to look out for one another as humans.
When you have love and compassion, it's whatever you do will reflect that. To know that you that is doing that, you're almighty, you don't know when the virus is going to come for you. So, and you that is hijacking the price of goods and services, are you going to get rich because some people are going to, just think through because I go to a store and say, you guys have hijacked this price. You guys don't have any conscience. Do you understand? So is this little money you're going to make at this time that's going to make you feel better? Do you understand? So people should not be heartless at this period. People should not just hijack prices of goods and services, where people are dying or people are trying to survive. That's just a horrible thing to do at this period.
Indeed, showing love and caring for one another is what we need at this time.